Thank you for joining us today on another installment of Frost & Sullivan's exciting podcast series, highlighting key disruptive technologies, growth opportunities, economic trends, new business models, industry convergence, emerging geographies, and much more. I'm Arun Prasad Nandakumar, team leader for Frost & Sullivan's autonomous driving team within mobility practice. Today, I will be talking about the future opportunities and new business models for autonomous driving vehicle deployment. Autonomous driving technology disruption is one of the most transformational technology trends that the automotive industry has ever embraced in its past 100 years. The service delivery mechanism is likely to be the most challenging yet fruitful change in the way business models are emerging in the automotive driving ecosystem. Frost & Sullivan estimates that about $200 billion worth of revenue potential resides within new autonomous driving business models. Those $200 billion is likely to be emerged from four key pillars: mobility services, vehicle services, peripheral services, and logistic services. Mobility services are things like autonomous taxis and autonomous shuttles. Logistic services are embedding autonomous driving into existing logistic business models like last mile delivery, hub-to-hub transfer, dock-to-dock transfer, etc. Vehicle services are things like prognostics, diagnostics, and vehicle insurance. And driving services are things like accessing new features like autonomous valet parking and chauffeuring on demand through vehicle applications that resides inside the car. So these four pillars are together likely to generate over $200 billion in revenue. And in the next decade, among those four pillars, the biggest disruption is likely to come from the mobility services, which are the autonomous taxis and autonomous shuttles-based business models. What we are seeing, especially in that pillar, is that the initial assumptions that about 40% of the cost of the business model can be displaced by taking the driver out are not completely realistic, especially because of a new set of challenges emerging within that particular domain. Not having the capability to remove the driver completely is a big challenge that the industry is trying to tackle. Either by having teleoperated services or safety drivers, there will still be a contribution to the business model that comes from having an operator in this particular use case. Another key challenge is going to be the overall cost of the vehicle itself, which is estimated to even double in some of the use cases for autonomous driving taxi deployment. The last cost contributor is likely to be the overall maintenance cost of these vehicles, primarily going to be contributed by the software maintenance cost applications. But despite these challenges, we believe that up to 25% of the cost of the trip can be reduced, primarily because of the increase in the operational efficiency of these vehicles. These challenges, we are likely to see early deployment of autonomous driving shuttles and taxi services as early as 2022 to 2025. And by 2030, we are estimating about 15 million vehicles to operate in these type of new business models in 2030. What we are also seeing is that the value creation model, which is likely to be transformed because of autonomous driving, is the most disruptive change that will happen to the automotive value chain because of embracing this particular technology. We will see brands having the opportunity to redefine their value creation model, change the way the brand is perceived by consumers, and I think most importantly, it will enable automotive OEMs and mobility players to tap into a new set of revenue streams that do not even exist today. About 60 to 65% of the revenue generated by the automotive value chain comes from traditional vehicle sales and aftermarket sales. Now, that's what the biggest disruption from a value creation model is likely to be to the automotive ecosystem. The potential revenue generation is likely to be the important aspect for automotive OEMs to embrace. And that's what the study primarily looks into from a business model perspective, but also in terms of how the ecosystem and value proposition is likely to be perceived by consumers. On that note, I hope you have enjoyed this session. Please join us for future podcasts, and to know more about our growth partnership services, reach out to digital@frost.com. Thank you for your time.